Before we start, let me mention that I have this exam P book on Amazon, which is updated for the recent syllabus, and it includes explanations for nearly 900 exam level questions, including all the 627 SOA sample questions, plus 26 review sheets. And so the way the book is structured is that I break the SOA problems into small portions. So the first portion is around 15 problems. I go over the explanations of all those. And before I start the explanations, I provide a formula sheet, a brief formula sheet, which contains all the formulas that will be needed for those 15 problems. And then I go over the explanations of the 15 problems. And after that, I have a quiz, which contains roughly 10 problems each quiz, more or less. And the quiz problems are based on the recent chunk of problems. So the first quiz will be based on the first chunk of 15 problems. And if you've understood the explanations to those, then you should be able to do well on the quiz. And then the process continues. The second formula sheet, followed by the next set of SOA problems, followed by a quiz, and so on. And in the end, I have two full-length practice exams and a comprehensive formula sheet. And the explanations of the SOA problems synchronize with the YouTube videos that you are watching, which I provide the explanation. So if you have the book, then you don't need any notes. You have the notes for SOA explanations, which are much more detailed than any of the solutions that I've seen and much easier to understand in most cases. And one thing which I will mention is that you should always follow the new book and see Amazon has different choices: buy new, and you have some used options. The problem with the used options is that they may advertise with the same cover, but once you get the book, you may realize that it's an older edition. And as you know, SOA keeps updating its syllabus and keeps updating these sample questions. Many a times the problems are renumbered. So if you get an older edition, not only will it not have the most updated problems, but the problems may have different numbers. And so you will have a hard time following the explanations because the numbers will not synchronize. So to make sure that you have the edition in which the problems synchronize with the SOA problems, then you should always buy the new book, which is sold by Amazon itself. So this is the option. And if at any time it happens that the SOA updates even further and you are unable to synchronize the numbers because of that, because you haven't saved the version of the SOA problems, which is current and currently synchronized with the book, then you can always email me and I will provide you the version of the SOA problems which synchronizes with the book in case I don't update it. So, with that out of the way, let's come to today's problem. An insurance company surcharges a driver based on the year of the driver's last accident using the following table with the current year denoted by T. So if the last accident happened a year before, then the surcharge is high because the driver has had a recent accident, so we have a 20% surcharge. But if the last accident happened 2 years ago and nothing between now and 2 years ago, then there's a lower surcharge, 15%. Similarly, 10% if the last accident happened 3 years ago and nothing in the 2 years between now and then. The probability that a driver has at least one accident in a year is zero point 0.1, which means the probability that the driver will have no accident would be 1 minus zero point 0.1, which is 0 0.9. Calculate the expected surcharge in year T for a driver who has been driving since the beginning of year T minus 4. So let the surcharge be X, and if the year of last accident was t minus 1, which means the year prior, then the probability of that happening is 0.1. And if the year of last accident was the year t minus 2, which means no accident happened the year prior, which is 0.9 probability, as we mentioned, since accident probability is 0.1, so no accident probability is 0.9. So no accident in the year prior, but an accident 2 years ago, so 0.9 times 0.1. Similarly, if the last accident happened 3 years ago, which means no accident happened in the last year and the year before, so 0.9, 0.9, and then an accident 3 years ago, 0.1. And similarly, the probability the last accident happened 4 years ago means no accident happened in the 3 years prior to current year, 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, and then an accident 4 years ago, 0.1. So for each surcharge, we have the corresponding probabilities, and we multiply this x with the fx, we get the xfx column, and we have to find the expected value of the surcharge, or E of x, so that'd be the summation of xfx. So you sum all the values in this xfx column, get 0.045, which is 4.5%. That is choice A.